Hey guys, welcome to Ohms Lounge with your host Ohms and myself, the lone salesman. We're back from our hiatus. Usually hibernation comes, during winter, not before winter, right? So we decided we wanted to pop a few podcasts before the year ends. We've had some ideas in the back of our brains, a lot of interesting things coming out. Last time we actually interviewed DJ DNZ. That was pretty interesting, going into like his career from landing in San Francisco, going to Tokyo. And we did a few segments on trends in gaming, what disappointed us, indie games, AAA games, mobile gaming, and VR gaming. And we had some interesting perspectives and insight on that. So if you guys are interested in those topics, I highly recommend you go back and listen to that for any first-time viewers. And of course, we have our review with indie dev Nikolodean, which was also very insightful if you're someone interested in getting into the game dev realm. So Josh, how you doing?
Not too bad, man. It's been a long time.
I
but
know.
We've been talking off and on. So how long has it been since the last time we did this?
Well, technically, I would say we recorded our DNZ interview in June. However,
right.
We kind
so
of...
it's been about like 5 months.
Yeah, give it more or less.
All right, right on. Yeah, man, I've been doing a lot in those 5 months. Starting to look into game dev stuff myself. I've been using gamedev.tv to teach myself how to do tile editing and stuff like that, making characters. I've been getting way more into art. And for those that are watching on YouTube, some of the art that's in the background, that's done by my friend Puopo. And on Instagram, he's called Waste of Space. It's waste as in WASTESP_CE. So, yeah.
And we'll put
he's
that
really
link
cool.
in the description for sure. He helped us out a lot. We had this blank canvas and we didn't really know what to put there. So it was either this or his Josh's goldfish.
Yeah, that's right. I got some goldfish now. They're pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know that I was going to like goldfish so much. I'll probably put up a picture or something later. But what about you, man?
Yeah, same thing. Dad life has been time consuming. I did a quick podcast about that, kind of how to balance the gaming and dad life. But now work is also my full-time job, is taking a lot of my time. So this kind of got sidetracked, sidelined. So, but I've had an itch to do it. It's just like, okay, like I want to do a podcast, but what do we talk about? And then you come with me at like 5 different things, and I'm like, wow, okay, let's like just jump into this. So like, what are we talking about today, Josh?
So today we're going to be talking about some of the things that I really wanted to cover, which is going to be shadow drops. We got Riot. They've been doing a lot. They've overtaken Squid Games as far as like viewership and Netflix is concerned. And we got Project L for the FGC community that's really interested in that. And I wanted to talk about that with, I guess, the Multiverse, the Multiverse game that DC is doing, and Nickelodeon's fighting game, their very first fighting game. So it's pretty interesting. And I kind of want to touch a little bit on Jumpforce.
Jumpforce, huh? That's not a name I'd expect coming up. Speaking of fighting games, didn't you say you heard some Capcom things, some possible leaks?
Ooh. Yeah, I sent you a link.
Yeah.
The leak was from last year in November. November, and Fetra Life. They had covered it before they had the original tweet pulled down. So they still covered it, and they were able to get some of that stuff. So let's hear.
Damn, so we got Resident Evil,
there.
Dragon's Dogma, Street Fighter 6, Rockman, Mega Man, whatever, Resident Evil 4 remake, which is going to be popular for sure, Monster Hunter 6, Biohazard Apocalypse, sounds terrible, SSF6, Street Fighter, they already put that, Final Fight remake, I'm not sure who's asking for that, Power Stone remake, Ultra SF6. It's funny. You talked to me about that earlier. And Resident Evil Hank, or Hunk. I don't know what the fuck that is. Damn.
Okay, so that one right there, Hank, that's like one of the guys that works for Raccoon City, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
It's actually
okay.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Interesting.
But so for Super Street Fighter, well, there's Street Fighter 6, and then there's, I'm assuming, Super Street Fighter 6 and Ultra Street Fighter 6. So we have Street Fighter 6, which is going to be coming out Q3 next year, 2022. And then if you look at the other link I sent you, where it's Project L talking about how it's not going to be shipping in 2022, but if you scroll down, I think it's at the very bottom. It's like, yeah, right there. To manage expectations, he says we probably won't get another update about Project L until sometime early in the second half of 2022.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but that kind of lines up with when Street Fighter 6 is going to be releasing, kind of. So they're going to be a little bit ahead of the curve on this. So they have this stuff in mind. I'm going to go ahead and say that. And
Okay.
I think what that's for is to kind of give fighting game enthusiasts or the community something to look forward to if Street Fighter 6 isn't as good as they want it to be, or if it's just like a flop or buggy or whatever. Because this game looks amazing. It looks great, and if you've seen Arcane, like it fits. It definitely fits the same art style.
Yeah, the shell shaded kind of dark anime style. You know, I've seen a lot of fighting games. It kind of reminds me of the same art style as some of the other anime fighting games like Ninja Storm and the new Kimetsu no Yaiba game. It's got that cell shaded look where, I mean, nothing's exactly detailed, but the character models kind of resemble a anime-ish figure, so kind of fits the theme, I guess.
Yeah, so that's what I'm like really excited about. And I was like on Sneaky stream the other day, and people were in the chat. They're like, "Yeah, this is just going to be a game for all you League nerds that are just really bad at the game and just want to find something else." Yeah. So it's just like you have like the hardcore, toxic FGC community, gatekeeping and stuff like that.
On. No one was saying that about Valorant when it came out. I mean, Valorant, everyone's like, "Oh, this is a CS clone, CS Overwatch clone," but then it's like it has its own fan base. It's not like people who play Overwatch are playing Valorant. People who play CS are playing Valorant. I'll say that much. It's already got its own competitive scene. So I mean, who's to say that this game, won't have its own competitive scene as a fighting game? I mean, going back to your experience with Street Fighter 5, I mean, in the gatekeeping, like this, that just makes it better. I mean, more people can play a game that with characters they're familiar with. There's no one telling them that you have to play Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo to understand, Street Fighter, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I will politely disagree with you there because historically, and it's just known, like universally, that Riot, League of Legends, it's a toxic community.
Oh yeah,
like they've already done the whole we're gonna start banning all chat. People are like, it brings out some of the fucking nastiest parts of me and some of the people that I played with, and it's not fun. Like if you want to lose friends, this is definitely the game to play with those friends that you want to lose.
Right. I guess it all depends if it's going to be free to play or. I mean, it'll probably be free to play with skins or whatever.
Dude, if you know anybody that's played any of the League of Legends, like just Valorant or League of Legends, more geared toward League of Legends, they're gonna pay. Like they had accounted for 1 out of every $6 or something from an old article. I'll find that and I'll send that to you later. But it was something ridiculous like that. Like they accounted for 1 out of every $6 spent on online gaming. And if that doesn't kind of like shock you, like that's
crazy.
Riot has such a stranglehold on the gaming market. honestly, they do such a great job with it, and the characters are very memorable. You said it yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just likable.
I don't even play the game, but when I see you play, I'm like, I look at these designs and the artwork, and I'm just like, wow, like these characters look cool. Like, and then when I saw the show Arcane, I took a peek at that, watched the first episode or two, and I was like, this is interesting. Like, you already have these fleshed out characters, and when I look at another IP like Overwatch, for example, who's had characters, has like I think over 30 characters now, and they have a little character to them, but I mean, not the detail that League of Legends has put into theirs. I mean, they got everything like bios, and it just feels like a larger universe you could use with that.
Yeah, I mean, the universe and everything that they got, it's already been done. Like, they've been working on this for a long time. And the lore, it's good. I have another friend, just like you. He doesn't play the game, but he reads the lore. Like, he's one of those like Warhammer, like 40K fans. So, you got to be pretty into the lore for that. And it is interesting, but man, it's a lot to dig through. And not to mention like Riot, they've worked with Marvel in the past. They have a few comics that were published by Marvel, and that in itself is pretty cool. So who knows what this is all going to lead into, but for them to go off on their own, they're doing it right. Like they did it after Worlds, they did a Shadow Drop with Ruin King.
Yeah, let's talk about that with for a minute. Ruin King. No one was expecting that
Shadow
one.
Dropped it. Yeah, nobody. Like they kind of. I remember they had an event going on earlier in the year. I can't remember when, but within the League client, you can go in there and had a nice little short story talking about. Let's see, it was Lucian and Senna going through and having to fight the Ruin King, and it had revealed Vex and the new guy. I forgot his name, but it just know. So Akshan.
Oh, Akshan.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it kind of showcased those two characters, or a little bit of Vex, a little bit, and then it kind of helped show Akshan's place in the Riot lore. So this game is basically like turn-based RPG, isometric top-down, and it looks beautiful. It looks cool. It looks very
definitely do like the
very
art style.
Fun. Yeah, like I like it. I like it a lot.
The fighting definitely reminds me of kind of like Paper Mario or the old school RPGs.
I was thinking kind of like, what was it, Darkest Dungeon 2?
Yeah.
But not so, what's the word? Roguelike. This actually has a story to tell.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to have the same replayability as something like that or Diablo, but
yeah, they're going hard, man. I'm telling you. Like, they already showcased Arcane. Worlds just happened. Let's talk about Worlds for a little bit.
Sure.
Like Mercedes-Benz, like they went all out. They gave the world champions, like these Mercedes, like championship, like they look like NBA championship rings. They look really nice. And yeah, so they have like the rings, make it official. And
I remember watching it with you a few times, and I'm not really into the game, but I can definitely feel like the tension and the showmanship between all the games and the teams and how they presented everything. It was really nice. Now I did have some issues with some of the showcasters or whatever. I mean, it was whatever.
Yeah,
but,
like Dash's stupid fucking hair. Yeah. I don't know what he was doing with that, but I don't like his hair.
There's just like a few things. I guess my biggest thing was like the contrast between like a sportscaster and these guys. It's like, okay, some of them were dressed nice, some of them were kind of dressed somewhat casual. I mean, I don't know. It threw me off for an event that had such big names like Mercedes and other things, and then I just see people like looking the way they do, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, that's cool. I mean, whatever, But Worlds was definitely interesting. So how's that going?
Well, the last thing I heard is that Mexico City, Toronto, and I think San Francisco got leaked. I'm not sure if that was intentional for more coverage on Riot as it is, because now you have all these little parts of the world that are getting really excited for Worlds next year.
Oh
And if you
yeah,
kind of foster that within the community, I guess people talking about it more and more and more. So they know what they're doing as far as advertisement's concerned. Outside of that, with them just kind of just doing drop after drop after drop, like they're doing the right business moves if I've ever seen it. And
for sure, man. I mean, I don't think they've
yeah,
been on a losing streak for any of their games. I mean, I guess Teamfight Tactics has its own little niche community. I think my friend likes playing that, but
it's a game for people that don't want to dedicate the 20 to 30 minute times, possibly 40-minute times of playing, Summoner's Rift. And I don't blame them, dude. This shit gets a little annoying. And sometimes all you want to do is just bullshit, play through Teamfight Tactics so that you can get the drops or whatever it is that you're trying to get.
yeah. So far, Riot is doing it good. I mean, some of their prices. I remember looking back at their gun skins on Valorant were pretty fucking ridiculous. You'd pay for like $50-$70 for like a single, for like a group of gun skins, and then they evolve. So that's like the catch. Like the more you use it, the more it evolves, and then you can pay extra money to increase it further. So like you get the animations, and I think with the game like League, and when you spend your money, okay, you're spending on new legends, you're spending on more skins, and there's no skins in Valorant. It's all gun skins. So the pay model makes more sense in League of Legends than it does for Valorant. For me, it's like I'd rather just grind the game out or play with the base. I mean, then again, you can use the argument, hey, if you're having fun with the game, it's free to play, no one's saying it's wrong to spend a little money on it. I mean, you're having fun with it, why not? I mean, you pay $60 for a normal game, on full retail, right? So maybe $50, $40, depending on the platform or the game type. And I don't personally, I think I've spent way more than $60 on Apex Legends. Buying the battle passes themselves kind of pay for themselves once you buy one, but the event skins, stuff like that, I don't really feel bad paying for that kind of stuff if I'm enjoying the game. So why not? Okay, Josh. Well, now that we talked about Riot and their new games coming out, speaking of Project L, we did mention Jumpforce. So why don't we talk about that? What's going on with that?
So I sent you a link earlier, and it was showing like the concurrent player base. Yeah, if you want to go with that, yeah, you can see it right here. Their all-time peak was on launch. Like I looked at it earlier, 10,000 players. All right, cool. And then you have 97 players playing this game from the last 4 hours, so less than 100 people.
Yeah, let me refresh that too. Let me. Oh, okay.
Okay, now 107.
Okay, so it broke 100.
So if you scroll down and then you look at the average player base, the average, it doesn't ever break 1,000. You scroll all the way down. Oh, actually, outside of when it launched, of course.
Damn, it lost like thousands of players.
Yeah.
On that second.
So the only person that I know of that plays this game and loves this game and can speak their piece on Jumpforce, with absolute knowledge, is Molowery.
Okay.
Yeah. So Molowery, he's on YouTube. I like him a lot. He's really funny. Check him out. I'll put a link to his YouTube in the bottom. Funny
Interesting.
Guy.
Yeah. I had a few friends that actually were playing this and were pretty upset when this the news came out that, come next year they're gonna just stop supporting it, and then
it's all right there, dude. They're gonna stop selling it. And I have a copy of it. I bought it when it first came out.
Too. So you have a physical copy, huh?
Yeah, I do. So hopefully that thing will turn into a nice little collector piece.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, they're gonna stop selling it in February, of next year, and then by August next year, all online services are going to end. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen.
Offline content's available, but yeah, just like even the most dead games still have servers. I mean, geez.
Yeah, and this is coming from who published
Bandai.
It, Bandai. Well, I think didn't they go through something like them changing like their logo or something, or getting bought out by someone? I don't know. I'll have to look into that in the future. But I think they did go through something like that. I'm not. So here's my theory on this.
Yeah.
My theory is they're either doing upgrades, they're doing some serious what is it? Like serious bug fixes, because Molowery, he had explained that on launch this game was buggy as hell with all the roaches. It's like it was bad. It was really, really bad. But if you suffered through it, it was still enjoyable to play. And then as far as like a fighting game is concerned, he made his comparisons with like Ninja Storm and Budokai, and he says that this one they don't show you like the combos to do, but you have to like just keep playing it and learn on your own. And honestly, personally, I love the way that this game looks, and I love the way they like do a mashup of all the characters from all these different mangas and animes and all that shit. Like I love the fact that I could just play like Yuki versus JoJo, or like Kinshiro. Like that shit's awesome to me.
Well, let's hear a little bit from him. I'll play like 30 seconds of this clip.
Like, roaches everywhere. Love every second of it, though. And I'll show you one of my coldest matches, just to show you how people will combo some stuff in. It's like, man, you got to adapt with the skill. You either know how to play it or you don't, which I don't understand why people were so mad, though, because like the Xenoverse is a tough game. I done got whooped in before by some stuff I feel like was kind of cheesy. Ninja Storm, I done got hit with some cheesy stuff. Fighter Z, don't let me get started again, man. And I done button mash and beat people on Fighter Z, but the way people talk about Jumpforce is just, I don't know, it just don't.
But yeah, I mean, he just brought it up, same thing. It's just like any other fighter, DBZ fighter. I mean, the game looks fine. I mean, the mechanics, people are saying it's a dead game. Games like this are going to have a niche community anyway. It's not going to be... I mean, fighting games itself have such niche communities like we were saying before. I mean, how much was Street Fighter pulling in?
I think it is definitely in the thousands. And also you have to take into consideration that these are like these stats, this is only from Steam.
Right, that's true. And considering this game's probably played on PlayStation more, we could probably say that the numbers on
probably doubled
on Jumpforce at least. Yeah, Street Fighter's looking okay.
Yeah, people, there's a community for it, and then go ahead and type in Tekken 7 just for another fighting game.
Mm-hmm. So that one's like somewhat similar.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Yep. And it's going to be really interesting when Riot decides to release Project L. And I don't know how they're going to do that. They're probably going to do that through their client. And if they were to do it, it's probably not going to be on Steam.
Oh, yeah. See, look at Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm's kind of got similar numbers. Well, they're in the thousands kind of when it comes to average player base, but it's not so far off from Jumpforce. Interesting.
Yeah, they're doing better. I mean, if they're still able to pull these numbers and not have their servers, shut down, then like what gives. So that's why I'm having very wishful thinking, but at the same time I got to be realistic. I think it's either that they're doing upgrades to the game, or maybe they're doing like another secret, shadow drop that's kind of tight, or it's something as simple as them losing their IPs.
Yeah, could be. I mean, you got a lot of characters in that, and
or I could be completely wrong. And Shonen Jump, they have the shared IP along all those things, like much like how what is it, the Multiverse platformer by Warner Brothers.
Yes,
like all those characters.
Let's talk about Multiversus for a minute. Let's segue into that. Like, what is this? So it's not exactly all DC characters.
just skip through to show the gameplay really quick.
We got WB characters, so we got like Finn, Superman, we got the Steven Universe, Bugs Bunny. For some reason, we got Arya Stark. I don't know why they put they got Arya Stark because technically Game of Thrones is owned by WB. George R. R. Martin's probably like drunk, figuring out. Hey, we're gonna put Arya Stark fighting Bugs Bunny. What do you think of that? Oh God, how's that book coming along?
I don't know. It could. Hey, maybe that's another. This is another shadow drop in the making. Right there.
This is the final Game of Thrones book.
That Ed Sheeran guy in the next fucking Game of Thrones or whatever. But I don't know, dude. I mean, it looks much better than Nickelodeon's take on a platformer.
You really think so?
And absolutely. And I say that with confidence because, I mean, think about it. Warner Brothers, what else do they make that's fighting game related? You got
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat games.
So, are we going to have Shaggy fight Scorpion finally? Yeah. Is it going to be a thing?
I hope so. It's definitely a possibility. Who knows?
The fact that they put Shaggy in this game, they acknowledge that the community, or at least they know that motherfuckers are gonna jump. They're gonna drop money on Shaggy because they think it's funny. They're like, okay, they actually put Shaggy in the game. Now we have to actually play it. Look at him.
Yeah, that is pretty good. You just threw a sandwich at him. Yeah, dude.
Look at the Donkey Kong punch.
It's silly and it's funny and it looks really well made. Because I was talking to Puelpo, Waste of Space, our artist, and he was saying this. Like, Nickelodeon's game, it has weird mechanics. They allowed things like grabbing projectiles. Like on launch, like one of the most OP characters is Mikey because he had an infinite. Like, these things are like off-putting to a lot of people that play fighting games in the
True.
community. But I asked him, I was like, all right, so like what makes a good fighting game then? And basically he summed it up in like a very, very good sentence. He's just like, when the mind games are good, the game is good. When the mix are good, the game is really good. And I agree with him, like he definitely makes a really strong argument right there. So I think that I can't really fault Nickelodeon for what the game was or is, because this is their first fucking fighting game, dude. Like, they've had graphics to go with.
They've had older games, similar styles. It's just, it's been a long time.
Definitely not fighting games.
Well, it wasn't like this. It was like they had a drop in. They didn't really have a fighting game. It was like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance style game with Nickelodeon characters. So, but something like this, it's fun. I mean, the biggest difference is too, I mean, this game's not going to be free to play. The other one is. So on launch, probably maybe the next the Multiversus game might have less characters, but anyone can play it.
Right.
Where, I mean, this game, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Multiversus game isn't going to be that polished. On launch, maybe it'll just be like Nickelodeon, where it's just kind of busted. We're not really sure. I mean, it's going to be on all platforms. I think Switch is like pending. But and then Nintendo, they just did their last DLC character. They have nothing to worry about. They're still selling Super Smash for full price. I just bought it. That thing was the most expensive game I bought out of all the games I bought.
Right.
But I mean, hey, one thing that Smash never did was the skins. I mean, you can see here in the Multiverses, they're messing with cool skins like the Bizarro, Superman, other stuff. The only thing they really did was the DLC pass for the characters. So maybe Multiverses will do the same thing. Same thing with Nickelodeon. I mean,
I don't know, dude. What's his name? Sakurai or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, maybe this is like his grand plan. He was like, I'm tired of these super sweaty, BO-ridden Smash players. I want to get rid of this community badly. So he was just like, "This is our final one," and then everybody else is like, "Oh, okay, we'll take your sweaty nerds, please."
Well, I think competition is good because I mean, think about it. Like Smash Bros. Didn't really have that much competition within its own like style of game. I mean, yes, technically a fighting game, but I think the only other game that's been kind of around that's been doing it is Brawlhalla, which is another free to play game, and that one's like pretty fun. It's kind of a similar style. It's I think there was a Ninja Turtles game too that came out not too long ago that didn't do too well, but competition breeds improvements. Everyone's trying to up the other guy, so we can hope that it'll only bring better things, right? I mean,
yeah.
We look at FPS game, let's just shift gears a little bit here. I mean, we were talking about how speaking of shadow drops, Halo,
yep,
on the 20th anniversary of Xbox just decided, hey, we're going to come out, and right after Vanguard and Battlefield's when Battlefield came out. I mean, Battlefield, I think during the time Battlefield was still in closed beta for people who pre-ordered the game, but no one was expecting Halo to come out. They're like, okay, we got Vanguard in October, Battlefield in November, and then Halo in December. Well, now we got all three. So
yeah, Halo came out ahead of schedule 3 weeks in advance.
I mean, I can tell you right now, like, Halo is pretty fun. I like it. I mean, it's not like I don't feel like it is the old days where I could play it for all night, but I still have fun with it. The time to kill is pretty long, and you can be a little strategic. It's 4v4, so it's not like a big clusterfuck of people. COD, I've seen the streams for COD, I've seen my buddy play it, I've seen Dr. Disrespect and Z-Laner play it, and it looked okay. It just looked like a wild mess though, like no teamwork, no one's doing anything. They're just running around shooting people like, hey, we got to grind the game out because Warzone's coming out next season. That's the only reason why people are playing that game. And I'm afraid that possibly when Warzone comes out, maybe Halo might fall off. I'm not sure. Because I already know that Halo took some Apex players for sure. Like some people, I mean, a lot of people started on Halo and then moved on to other games. But as an arena shooter, I think Halo is doing better than COD for sure, especially in the ranked system. I mean, the ranked is pretty fair. There's a pretty good loss for forgiveness system for people who leave mid-match, so you're not penalized. Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is that next Warzone Season 2 or that next map update that might dwindle the player base because there's still no word of Halo doing a Battle Royale. And some people were saying that this game's going to die without a Battle Royale. I think Battle Royale is fun, but I don't think it's a defining feature of whether a game's going to... Because Halo's always going to have its core fan base, you know?
True. Another thing that I was reading just today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you caught it, but you remember how Final Fantasy, they have the what is it, that mobile shooter?
Oh yeah.
I remember I saw an article either today or yesterday.
Oh, that stupid free to play VR game.
Yeah, on launch it had like 1 million downloads.
Oh my god. I mean,
yeah.
Of course it did.
Serious numbers.
Everyone wants to shoot their guns and use Faraga too.
Yep. I mean, dude, on launch with Jumpforce only having about 10,000 peak players.
Yeah.
That's peanuts to the 1 million players that just downloaded that damn game.
I mean, to be fair, it's easier to download a free-to-play mobile game, than buy an actual game. I mean...
Yeah, maybe Jumpforce is moving mobile. Who knows? You only have to hit like 3 buttons, right?
Hey, you know what? It could happen.
I mean, Wild Rift is basically, League Light, and it looks better than the actual game. Like, I don't know how they managed that, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe it is just the mobile market.
The mobile market is just so it's just so easy to get into because hey, A, everyone has a phone nowadays, and B, it's just easily accessible with you're on the go. I mean, that's the thing I like about the Switch. Recently, I've been playing that, and I just love the mobility of it and the fact that I can walk from one room to the next while watching my baby and, casually playing the game if she's playing or something. I can't play, Dark Souls or Escape from Tarkov casually. But I mean, if I'm playing a game like, I don't know, Fire Emblem, where it's like a turn-based game and I can take my time, then yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, I know how much you love the tea parties in Fire Emblem.
Yo, I don't know you know what? This wasn't part of I just want to talk about this for a second. Okay. Whose fucking idea was it to put fucking tea parties in a Fire Emblem game? Like, what the fuck is going on, man? I just wanted to play the battles. Dude, I feel like half the game I've been playing has been all fucking bullshit. Like, oh, get to know your party, get to know this, go do the side quest, go run around, have a fucking tea party so you have the chance to fuck or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. It's like a dating sim and a battle strategy game. And I'm like, dude, I just want to fight. Like, that's the thing. The fighting is so good and the progression is great. Like, you can just do so much with the characters, level them up in any way you want. And it's great. But the extra bullshit, like, it's so hard to stream that game because like half the time I'm doing fucking tea parties or running around this stupid ass map. And then like everyone's just like, And then I had a fucking accidental tea party with some nerd, some dude.
Yeah.
And then
they got some very questionable voice lines in there that makes me kind of second guess what I just heard. You fight well.
You what? You what the? That's the main character saying that too.
Yeah, it sounds like you fuck well. I'm like, what?
Like, whoa. Settle down now.
Yeah.
But
moving on.
Yeah, moving on from that, I just needed to get that off my chest since you mentioned that. Okay, I mean, let's wrap this up. I guess we talked mostly about everything. Do you have any closing thoughts on Halo before we end that discussion?
I'm just glad that collectively, from what I've seen, when I say collectively, I'm just saying like Sneaky Stream, for example. Like, they're like, this reminds me so much of old Halo, and a lot of people were agreeing, and I felt that way myself. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm glad that it's kind of a nod to all the older folk like us that grew up playing this back in middle school.
Yeah,
doing the LAN parties, and it's nice. It feels good. It feels balanced. It looks great.
Yeah, I mean the guns feel fine. I mean I think the biggest thing just getting used to is the time to kill. I mean, Halo's time to kill is much longer than other games, so like a grenade won't instantly kill someone; it will just break their shields. So, but you can still do the old like melee combo and then magnum to the head. So I mean,
yeah, it's the original thinking man shooter. I mean, arguably people would just be like, "Oh yeah, well that's Counter-Strike." I'm like, no, dude, everybody didn't grow up with fucking Counter-Strike, all right?
I mean, yes, yeah. I mean, Counter-Strike is just less accessible, even though you didn't really.
Back then it was. Absolutely.
Yeah, back then it was kind of like not everyone had a computer that could run it.
Not everybody could afford like DSL internet.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Play that shit on dial-up.
You just get shot immediately by your teammates before the enemy gets you.
And you also need to have like a very expensive computer.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nah, man. I mean, I think for what Halo is, especially they surprised everybody. They really liked it. It's not buggy. They fixed what is it? That one brute. He doesn't look like that anymore, apparently. I don't know. Like, every game is gonna have bugs these days, and anybody that expects otherwise, like, they're delusional.
I mean, the campaign itself is whatever, right? I mean,
Halo. I want to see people play it on Twitch. I'm not gonna. I'm already too old enough for
Halo
Yeah,
campaigns are like COD campaigns. You know, they're epic, almost like a blockbuster movie. Something you can grind with your friends. Because back in the day, I mean, you couldn't get certain helmets or armors without playing the campaign. Like you had to get all the skulls, play on legendary mode, do all this shit. So I don't know. One thing that did kind of bug me about the multiplayer was the battle pass is very slow to progress, and granted it is free to play. You know, you don't get much if you don't fucking pay for that battle pass. I'll tell you right now. And the stuff you get, I mean, you get armor modifications and stuff, and it looks cool for the most part, but it all kind of like looks the same, and I don't know. It's not very interesting to me to, you know, at least not yet. Seeing that I can't play this game for more than like an hour or two. So I don't know. It'll get better, I'm sure. And then campaign.
Do they have Blood Gulch? Do they have Blood Gulch as a map?
I don't think so.
See, that's the only thing missing. If you can bring me Ascension or Blood Gulch, I'm all over it. Like, I miss that.
The map, it feels like when I play, there's like 4 or 5 maps, and then they got the big team battles, which are kind of forgettable for the most part, depending on if you're playing Hardpoint or just Grand Slayer or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think the maps need work, and then of course
it'll probably come with time. What I'm really hoping that they don't do with this game that they've done with like Call of Duty is you have like a 50 gigabyte update for textures.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the game itself right now, just multiplayer, is 60. So I don't know how much it'll be with the campaign.
It's a nice little chunk, and it is a little bit demanding. Like I'm running a 1060 GPU with an i7 7700, not the 7700K, and like 32 gigs RAM. It's nothing special, and the thing is aging, but it does the job.
Yeah.
So, and that's still like I was looking at the chart, and my stuff is like in the low to mid range. So
that's good.
I don't know. I'm very interested to see how this looks on console. It is available for console, right?
Yeah, it is. Of course. Xbox only.
All right. Well, you know, I'm not sure. I don't have an Xbox Series S or whatever.
Well, yeah, you can play it for free, you know, on Xbox or in Xbox app on PC. I like the ranks kind of so far. It's kind of fun. People play a little bit smarter, and there's a little bit more tactics. Some of the gear and weapon locations is kind of a learning curve. You got to know where the power weapons are and the regular weapons, and some of these new weapons where you can, like this guy just one shot a fucking warthog with this spear thing, and I'm like, okay. Like, all right, cool.
Is there any talks of them implementing something like the Forge? I know a lot of people really miss that.
I do miss. So when Halo 5 came out, Forge wasn't on release. So maybe they'll do it later after the campaign comes out, because Forge is fun, man. Custom lobbies, build your own map, add whatever weapons and armor, whatever you want to do. I remember spending hours on that shit in Halo 3, just building whatever, you know?
I mean, I don't know, man. I never grew up with that. I never was so lucky enough to have an Xbox like that growing up. But yeah, I mean, I've always heard of my friends really liking Forge.
Yeah, I mean, even on Halo 2, just doing your own custom maps, just filling the whole map with energy weapons or energy swords, and just doing a big sword battle, or just fucking around, testing out shit. Like, it's fun. I am excited. Yeah, I'm excited to play more. I mean, every now and then when I don't have a game to play, I just pop over into Halo, play a few rounds, and, you know, feels that need, I guess, to shoot shit.
Hell yeah. All right. Got any closing shout out, whatever?
Yeah, I just want to again give a special thanks to Puelpo and for providing the art showing here on the screen. For our audio listeners, we'll probably share some on YouTube. You'll see it on our YouTube video, and then maybe we'll add it on Twitter as well, just to give them an additional shout out so you can check that out on the Ohms Lounge podcast. And of course, we want to give a shout out to Zay for giving us music. You know, he's had some hard times, and I think he's doing better now, and we really appreciate him. And speaking of Riot Games, they actually let out that some free music as well. So shout out to them for doing that. I mean, that's nice. We've used that a few times in some of our previous videos. So we hope to do maybe 1 or 2 more podcasts before the year's out. Josh, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good. Sorry for taking so long.
No worries, man.
Thanks for everybody that's been listening, and to those that have subscribed. And if you guys are listening on other platforms, please be sure to give us, a like or a follow, subscribe, whatever, to all of our other little social media outlets. It just basically gives us a good understanding of like where people are at, and we can accommodate accordingly with that information. We're still starting out. We're still learning, even though it's been like a year. Damn, dude, it's
half
been
a year. Well, half a year.
Well, just about. But still, like it's pretty impressive, like how much we've grown just for the statistics. So, very warm and happy shout out to all the listeners. And that's it.
Definitely.
See you guys next time.
All right. See you guys, and talk to you later.